We just went from spring to summer real fast here in South Carolina. It is almost unbearably hot outside, which means I don't want to heat up my kitchen every single day for dinner. I've got 3 crock pot recipes that are great for summer in store for you this week, so stay tuned. Hey y'all, I'm Mandy, and this is Mandy in the Making. If y'all love Salisbury steak like we love Salisbury steak, then this first recipe is gonna be right up your alley. We are making Salisbury steak meatballs in the crock pot. I'm using pre-made meatballs. You can definitely make your own, but just to make it even easier, I'm going the frozen route and serve it all over mashed potatoes. It's a winner. Now, when we think about Salisbury steak, we think about really soft onions to go with it. This recipe does not call for onions. That's a no-go in my house, so we're adding onions to the mix. I'm just gonna thinly slice these into rings. So I'm gonna place the rings on the bottom of our crock pot. That was all the chopping that I have to do for this recipe, which is really nice. Next, you need a bag of frozen meatballs. This is a 26-ounce bag. You don't have to worry about thawing them out, just they go in frozen. I used the help of pre-cut mushrooms. Those are going in. Something I forgot to grab out of the fridge before getting started was the Dub sauce. I'm gonna add in just a couple of teaspoons of that. A little bit of garlic powder, not a lot. The same with onion powder, just a little bit. Now we need to do 2 packs of brown gravy mix. I did get the 30% less sodium since we're doing 2 packs. I thought that might be helpful, but let's mix this together. And so I think at the end of the day, this gravy will be kind of watery, and that is not ideal for what we want. You could definitely leave it that way. However, I'm gonna do like a cornstarch slurry at the end of the day. Now we're just gonna pour this over our meatballs. That's it, y'all. I mean, it doesn't get much easier than that. We are gonna cook this on low for about 4 to 5 hours. My house smells so good. It has been cooking all day. I have some, can you see it over there? Green beans on the stove. I just made a dessert. I also popped some sourdough rolls in the oven from Wild Grain. We're gonna have a feast, but first we need to check on the gravy situation. Whew, that's gonna fog y'all up. Yep. You're welcome. That's how we do around here. Okay. Yeah, that's a really thin gravy. Okay, so I got all our gravy out. There's not a whole lot. If I'm being real honest, I don't feel like that's enough. So I'm gonna add a little extra beef broth to this and the cornstarch slurry just so that we have plenty. So I have a bone to pick with you. When I showed you the stove and I showed that I was making green beans, why did you not tell me, hey Mandy, you need to start the potatoes? I don't know how I thought we were gonna have mashed potatoes if I didn't make them. So I'm taking the gravy over to the stove and I'm like, wait a second. So I had to pause. And now we have green beans, potatoes, and then the gravy is sitting back behind the potatoes. I will not thicken that up quite yet. We gotta wait on those potatoes to come up to a boil. What happens when you try to do all the things? Something falls through the cracks every time. We've got green beans that are pretty much done. These only have 30 more seconds or so, so I'm about to drain those. This has come up to a bubble back here. This is our gravy. I added about a 1/2 cup to 3/4 a cup of beef broth. And I'm about to make my cornstarch slurry. I've got a couple of tablespoons of cornstarch here. I'm gonna add 2 to 3 tablespoons of water and we'll add it right over here to thicken it up. Okay, so let's see if we can get this to thicken up. It's come up to a boil. It should just take 10 to 30 seconds and then I'll just take it off the heat. Sometimes when I don't feel like using bacon, I just use bacon grease in our green beans, which is exactly what I did today. What is that noise? It sounded like, what's his face on Lord of the Rings? Gollum?
Oh, how do you know Gollum?
I've watched Lord of the Rings. You made me.
I did.
Okay.
Meatball.
Meatball.
Here we go.
Do it.
That is really
Does
good.
it taste like Salisbury steak?
It does.
Good.
It tastes exactly like strawberry cake. Salisbury steak.
We're having strawberry cake later, so you're in luck on both sides. You're getting Salisbury steak and strawberry cake.
This is really good. I mean, how easy.
I know.
You didn't have to do anything to the meatballs.
No.
You just put them in there.
Right. It was so easy.
This has to be, I mean, this is exactly like Salisbury steak.
I'm so glad. If you wear glasses, tell me, do you take them off when you eat? I can't stand to have my glasses on when I eat. Number one, if it's something hot, it fogs them up. But number two, I don't know if it's just the motion of my face, like it makes them kind of slide down on my nose. I have to take them off. So tell me below, do you do that too?
I need to be wearing my glasses more often.
Yes, you do.
I'm walking around like, what is that?
Right.
You don't crumple up your napkin.
I ain't as messy as you.
I always crumple up my napkin in my hand like that.
Like father, like son.
Yeah, my dad and napkins is not good. Well, I'll tell my story someday.
Maybe if we ever do a live, we can tell that story.
Yeah, maybe so. Funny story. Okay.
Man, this is
And
good.
mushrooms. Yeah, the mushrooms in here as well. Mm-hmm. Very good.
The mushrooms and the onion. You know the recipe didn't even call for the onions? I know, right?
Good job.
How can you have Salisbury steak without having onions? I don't understand. I'm gonna be real honest. I don't normally love frozen meatballs because the texture can kind of be funny on some of them. But this particular brand is really good.
Every meal ought to have gravy.
True story. I feel like a lot of meals that are just like, meh. You put gravy on it, it's a whole new story. Mm-hmm. So this was on a video or in a video last spring or summer. I will link it below. This was a subby sweet. I'm pretty sure a subscriber sent this in. I have made it no less than 5 or 6 times since originally making it. I've taken it to church for dessert, for like potlucks. Everyone loves this.
That's good.
It's so easy. It's so easy. So easy. Yeah, yeah. It's the mixture of the fresh strawberries and the strawberry pie filling.
Yes.
And then that cream cheese layer. I said cream cheese, he said.
But it's the proper application of the cream cheese.
Amplication or application? What'd you say?
Application.
That's what you said.
Application.
Amplication.
It's the proper application.
It's so good. It's another day, which means it's another crock pot meal. Today we are having lemon, garlic, butter, chicken thighs in the crock pot. So easy. This is gonna come together in like 5 minutes. It's gonna cook all afternoon and dinner will be ready. We're gonna get started by placing our chicken thighs on the bottom of the crock pot. It's just gonna be me and Steven here tonight for dinner, so I'm just gonna do 4. So I'm gonna be cutting the recipe down just a little bit because the normal recipe is almost double this amount. I'm gonna do about a 1/4 cup of chicken broth. We need the zest of just about half the lemon, maybe not even quite half the lemon, but we're gonna add that into our chicken broth. When you hear zest, do you think of a particular commercial? Because I always do. If you do, let me know below. And then we need to juice this lemon. I don't think I'm gonna use all of the lemon. For the full recipe, you need the entire lemon for juice. And then I'll save the rest of this for sweet tea. Do you like lemon in your sweet tea? I definitely do. Stir that around with my knife. That's how we do. Now let's take this and pour it over our chicken. Now we're just gonna season everything. I've got some Italian herb seasoning. All of the measurements will be below, but I'm not really gonna measure anything at this point. I'm just gonna season till it feels right. We need a little bit of onion powder, a little bit of garlic powder, some paprika. You can leave this out if you want to, or you could do cayenne pepper. We're gonna do crushed red pepper flakes, and just a little bit of salt and pepper. The recipe calls for about 4 garlic cloves, freshly minced, so that's what we're gonna do. Just gonna do this right on top, because that's where it needs to go. Okay, I got all our garlic on there, and then you gotta add your butter. I'm gonna do 1 pat of butter for each, and I have 1 left over, so 1 to grow on, you know? That's it. This is gonna cook on high for 3 to 4 hours until our chicken is done. It has been right at 3 hours. I just tested our chicken temperature-wise, and it's great. Okay, I'm fogging up as per usual. Can you see that the garlic turned like a green color on top? Isn't that interesting? All I know is my house smells amazing. I just made some rice to go with this. I made some little side salads with lettuce from our garden. And I also chopped up a little bit of parsley from our garden as well. That's gonna go on top of our chicken.
I have no idea what's in this, but it smells. Look at these seasonings on top of this thing. I just don't know what to make of this.
Well,
the smell is amazing. All right, here we go. That is amazing. What is that?
Lemon, butter, garlic, chicken.
And all of those flavors you can taste. And there's a little spice in there too.
Red pepper flake is in there.
But yes, definitely get the lemon garlic flavor in there. And
buttery.
Then some other seasonings in there as well.
Yeah.
That is very sophisticated.
And it came from the crock pot. Ain't that something?
That is something. Wow. But, oh man, I'll tell you right now.
Tell me right now.
Right now. I want to see your reaction.
Okay. Gracie says, I want a reaction too. It falls apart.
It does, doesn't it? Isn't that something else?
You would order that at a restaurant. Oh, and the spice is in there.
Wow.
That is great.
Yes.
All of these flavors would be great on fish too.
They would. It would go with fish really well. Absolutely. That is amazing.
Wow.
Those are really good flavors.
So it does have a little kick to it because I did put the red pepper flake in there and it's wonderful.
Yeah.
But if you don't want spice, just leave that out.
Just leave that out. Yeah, that wouldn't change it. That wouldn't change much at all. I mean.
What were you just doing?
I was trying to hit that fly that's big as a helicopter. Flying around.
Every time we open the door, a fly comes in. Every single time. It never fails. This is not your average crock pot meal. This is a step above.
You tell me this come out of Crockpot, I'll be like, what?
You got to make this one.
Yeah, you got to try this. This is.
I feel like this is a great summer meal too because of the lemon flavor. Make this and report back. We want to know. It is time for our third crock pot meal. Excuse my appearance. I just got finished working out not too long ago, but I need to get this in the crock pot so that we have dinner ready for tonight. Today we are making queso chicken tacos. Just a few ingredients. It's so easy and dinner is going to be delicious. We are not making the entire recipe. That's why I'm using a smaller crock pot. I'm just using 2 large chicken breasts. I did not cut them in half, but this is like 4 thinly sliced. You need a pack of taco seasoning or 2 to 3 tablespoons of your own. The original recipe calls for salt and pepper. There's a good bit of salt in that, so I'm not gonna worry about the salt, but I am gonna throw some pepper in here. Now you want to use a can of Rotel that you did not drain. You want the juices still in there. I'm using the hot Rotel just because that's our preference. And then a 4-ounce can of diced green chilies. And that's it. I'm gonna be cooking mine on low for about 4 hours. The recipe says to cook it on high for 4 hours. I know my crock pot really well. It does not do well with chicken for that long. My chicken will be dried out. So because it's chicken breast, you wanna make sure you're not drying it out. I'm gonna cook mine on low. It may even be done before the 4 hours. I'm gonna check on it. Well, it is 4:15 and our chicken is already done. I already checked the internal temperature is right at 170, which means it's done. So let's take this out and shred it. So let's take our chicken out and shred it. I'm gonna use my nice little shredder here. All right, so you're supposed to put this in smaller chunks, but I just wanted to see what a whole chicken breast, how it would do. So it didn't quite get it all. So I'm just gonna move it around in here. So Stephen and I decided to add or take away some of the liquid that's in here because we don't want it to be too watery. We can always add it back in, but I'm just taking it out and putting it here. And we'll set it to the side. So I'm gonna add this shredded chicken back in and let's do the other chicken breast. I've got a jar of salsa con queso. You can add the whole jar if you're doing the full recipe. So I probably won't be adding the entire thing. You don't have to worry about heating this up. It's gonna heat through with the chicken. So let's start with that amount and see how it goes. I think that's probably enough. Look at that. We're gonna add a little bit of this juice back in there. I think that's good. Oh man, that smells so good.
Big old bite. What you think?
Oh, that's good. Ooh, it's spicy.
Yay, good job.
So now we just need to prep all of our toppings for our tacos and we're ready to go. So fun fact, these, can you see, yep. You see that says Gerber Baby Foods? We've had these since Cole was born. I mean, they look pitiful. Look at them. But we use them to do taco night. They're perfect size for like tomatoes, onions, jalapeno, whatever. But we've had these for a long, long time.
Oh, man.
Why'd you only make you one?
I made a honker of a taco.
He did.
Good gracious alive.
Wait, we got a tank.
Let me ask you a question.
Ask me. Oh.
Is a taco a sandwich?
I'll start this.
Is a taco similar to a sandwich or a hot dog? What do you think? Tink.
Tank. It's both.
All right.
Okay, let's go.
Spicy.
Because I used that hot rotel.
Spicy. Yes. This will light you on fire.
And he has jalapeno on his, and he put a lot of Cholula on it.
Fresh jalapeno. I'll put that jalapeno in there.
Mine's not that hot.
Oh man, that cheese is amazing.
It's so good.
Those flavors came together really, really nicely. The rotel. Sometimes the rotel has a little bit of like a canned rotel flavor, you know what I mean?
It can,
like you know
yeah.
it's canned. No. Mixed with that cheese dip. Which that cheese dip is amazing.
It is. Gosh, that's good. I mean, this is a really good way to have Taco Tuesday.
Yeah.
Napkin.
This would be really good with those hard shells too.
You need a napkin too?
Well,
You need a bib.
you know me,
You need a bib.
because you've seen me.
Ooh, it is. I mean, my nose is starting to run a little bit. It's spicy. Cole will be home in a minute, and he'll have to try them.
And I feel like you can do different types of cheese with this if you wanted to. Different types of, you know, the bottled or whatever cheese.
Yeah, I mean, you could get like the traditional queso too, like the queso dip, and do that.
Absolutely. Very good. I am impressed.
He's going back for more. And
So
then
when you make a mess with your taco,
you have a little salad.
You have a salad left over. That's how we do it. So
That's
if
right.
you want taco salad, just be real messy. Would you give it 1 or 2 thumbs?
2.
Oh, nice.
2.
I had a
Bit
feeling.
spicy, isn't it?
Oh, it's so good. My mouth is on fire a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, but in the best way possible.
Awooga!
Looney Tunes.
Something catches on fire, they do the whistle.
Yeah.
That's not
What was that?
I don't know if that was a whistle sound or what that was.
Try this with your chicken tacos next time. It's good. If you need more summer crockpot inspiration, be sure to go check out this video right here. Thank y'all for being here, and we'll see you next time. Bye.